Hello, everyone. Welcome to the U-Turn. If you are new to this platform, it is a platform that is empowering our communities through women and youth. We use the power of storytelling, constructive dialogue, and guided actions to promote social change, women and youth empowerment, entrepreneurship, and innovation. So today, really, we are focusing on youth empowerment and specifically newcomer youth empowerment. And we are joined by special guest, Chol Deng Kuir from Winnipeg, but currently in Ontario. Thank you, Chol, for joining this conversation. So as you wait to listen to this empowering conversation with our guests, please share this message to reach people that may benefit from it. If you are new to this platform, please feel free to follow us. That is how you support us. My name is Akwal Philip, as always, and I'm joined by Ala Kirako as my co-host. So back to the table. Thank you so much, Joel, and welcome to the U10. What a pleasure.
It is a pleasure. Kujako viewers die. It's a privilege to screen union. I've been also a consumer of your content, both on YouTube and on Facebook. I always like the content is riveting. Quite better together. You guys take on very uncomfortable topic that need to be discussed, such as the financial literacy of the family dynamic. So I'm privileged. I think I want to acknowledge. I want to do just a few acknowledgements so then I can set the tone for our discussion. I am currently situated in Anishinaabe, Alaquint territory in Ottawa. Next to my right is the water that nourishes our bodies and also that keep us happy and hydrated. Also, I want to thank the delegation of the Ismaili Emat for giving me the boardroom to hang out here. The Aga Khan Foundation Canada for hosting me all week. The Excel Empowerment Center for also trusting me with this work. Spirit Change Canada, Canadian Global Affairs, the Council, and the U10 woman, it is really a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for that acknowledgement. So yeah, this is really amazing. We would have gone through a rotation to acknowledge where we are, but we are immigrant on this land, as you have already mentioned. But for the benefit of time, we'll just go directly to our conversation. It's very exciting. So many people now waiting to hear who you are and all the things that you just shared. They can't wait. So please, Cholda, could you please tell us a bit about your empowerment journey? What inspired you to be a champion for newcomer youth empowerment in Canada?
I think good question. I think first thing is quite chatting the people that empowered me first before I can say that. One of there's people that I can say Agora Newcomer was one of the people in 2005 when I arrived in Canada that would put me in his car to drive to go and pick up other youth and we come and book preach. But he just kept us. He brought us to the house. The time I came to Canada, I broke a young person, and I was at risk. But people like Ago, people like Ruben Mayenega, and people like Abraham Mbun, they saw me. Came and then also the church, St. Matthew's Anglican Church. I found home there. So those people empowered me. They saw me. My first travel, they made me go they made me spend a week in Ontario experiencing world religion through the Anglican Church of Canada, through the Diocese of Rupuland. Also, thing that they did for me in the community, I would come to the community space, I would beat up kids, but they don't call the police on me. They just let me hang out. And so they empower me. And so that's where my calling came from. Somebody had invested their time in me for me to be here today. So I'm grateful for those, and I'm really enchanted by their selflessness.
Wow, thank you so much. Before Vanigena, like you actually mentioned, you came here 2005, very young, and There are people behind you that push you to be who you are today. And you mentioned that you were at risk. Can you expand a little bit? What does that mean, being at risk? Coming here, foreign land, you're very young, and then now you realize you are at risk. Actually, you go to you meet that man to the police. Can you expand more? What are
Yes,
those?
yes. Yeah, that was sense of humor. I'm not a violent person, so for those to please forgive. It was a joke. But in retrospect to the question, at risk youth is somebody who is seeking sense of belonging but could not find it. At risk youth is somebody having invisible bag, the bag that we cannot see, but they are there pulling him down. That include mental health, lack of green spaces, lack of sense of belonging, like a disconnect to the institution that support young people, and also a family dynamic that is possibly falling apart.
Wow, thank you, thank you. Alakirin beyond next, these are so much to unpack. Maybe Alakirin, Baba Palin, Bala go deeper before we could continue the conversation. You really mentioned the issue of access, and that is what I'm hearing, like access. So you
Mhm.
coming here as a young person and in both new environment, and the family toy in thin different. Is they are adjusting, you are adjusting. The structures around you is they are very complex for a young person like you to understand and to navigate. And so now you are struggling with sense of belonging. You are struggling with access to support system. You are struggling, to understand how you fit in the family and outside the structures that are there to support you. Alaki,
Mhm.
take it away.
No, absolutely. I'm already fascinated by your story, and I'm sure the listeners will really want to know more. First, welcome to the U-Turn, and I want you to go a little bit into your work that you've done since then, getting the calling, implementing the youth empowerment initiatives. What are some initiatives you've worked on? And I'm a strong believer that inspiration comes in a way that you see somebody like yourself and you want to do what they do. So, somebody who want to walk in your footstep, what are some inspiring or I don't know achievements that they can look,
Mhm.
they can look up to, and you know, do the work that you do.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the question. A two-pronged, multi-pronged question. So I think what inspired me, or the initiative actually I work for, like you said. So we first started in 2013, the first South Sudanese after-school program, summer camp. It was funded by the province of Manitoba. They gave us opportunities. They gave us staff personnel monies to hire young people. So the community band together, the church and the community band together, and they created a summer camp. And then they made me their coordinator that summer, and that where the journey began. So we would hang with young. We taught Dinka. The first was to connect families. Our mandate was to connect families, the parents and the kids. So the parent will come and tell the stories, and then the kid will learn the stories from the parents, but in Dinka. But first, they have to understand what Dinka is, right? And so in those languages. So that was the thing we do, and then we do recreational stuff. We go outside, go to the beaches, go to the YMCA, to go and swim. Go to the park to go and play ball and stuff like that. And so in Kichu, that's what we first start doing. And then I moved to another agency called the Immigrants and Refugee Community Organization of Manitoba, ERCOM. It's located. This is currently started in the 80s. Then I found my calling there, whereby I oversee all the after school program, and so that way I really created a system. I was passionate about because I think I live in displacement camps, Manima Galatoria, and then Hifo, northeastern Kenya. So Tukula has always been academic competition has always been there. So I was inclined into academia. So I came and I found the homework program, and I had to define what the homework program should look like. So we have two, which is no young age 6 to 12, then literacy, arts and craft, and kujagrum detail that where the real work is. Chete diak, educational aspect, and then outreach, engagement and outreach, and then there is also recreational. So homework at you could grant. We got lots of grant from the government, both federal and provincial, and also city, where we oversaw $1.7 million budget, and that gave us the playing field. We hired 24 staff, we hired a real teacher, and then come the real caveat of the after-school program. So what the issue was that a lot of after-school programs will run to look at homework, but there's no system behind it. Also, kids have need, like we talked earlier about sense of belonging, recreational institution system. So a lot of newcomers come here with aspiration, but system is really it's really very thick walls that you really have to crave, like you have to broke one brick at a time. So what we did is we figured that we sat down, me and a good friend called Golocha Boru, from Ethiopia, and then he also came. He came here when he was 9 months in 1990s, but he lived in downtown Winnipeg, which was a very, very busy place. There was so many negative activities that were happening there. So what we did with the after school program, we say, okay, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna there's prevention and there's intervention. Intervention costs $120,000. You can't afford it, because when the kids are already at risk and already in contact with the system, it is hard. You need social workers, you need psychosocial, you need system to bring them back. We can't afford that. But prevention is to put the measure that can help the kid not go into the at risk and become, and then you have to do intervention measures. So what we did there is that we made our program intervention, and we set the rule, prevention, and we set the rule and say, okay, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., is homework. The teacher and 4 teacher assistants will give one-on-one homework, and we call the volunteers. And then other part of it is that we have a cook working on hot meals. So a lot of newcomers go to school with empty stomach. They don't have breakfast at homes. So when they come, they don't focus. They're very distracted. So we get them home, we get them snack, and we get them dinner, real meals, like chicken and rice with hot sauce on the side. And then that is from 4 to 8, but the kid has a choice. There's two groups. We were also finding the girls were much inclined into academia. They were performing well, but the boys were not. So we figured that if we introduce the sport, it will get them going. So the sport was introduced. And so for you to make an official team, while we compete in Winnipeg Youth Organization, and to be cool with your colleagues, you have to average 65% GPA. If you want to be enrolled in scholarship, we also got the scholarship, you have to have 72 percentile to compete in the scholarship. We make it easy. And then also for you to even go into practice, you have to finish your homework. And then we have employment program on top of that. We have cooking program. We have youth in philanthropy, which is leadership and capacity building. We also have engagement. We take them to events, and then that's in the school season. And then in the winter, and in the summer, you flip the whole thing because there's no school. So now you have to incentivize programs. And so every Wednesday is the beach day. Everybody's going to the beach. 50 to 60 kids come. We take buses there. Every Friday is barbecue at the park. Now, those things sound like they're just for play, but those are actually systems. A kid that is at the park running is in a safe space, in a green, safe space. A kid that is at the beach is at a community space, is connecting with the nature. Now, things that are negative, the distractors are gone. Now, they build sense of belonging, they build sense of friendship. So those are what we start doing. And then we've been got to a greater length, and we find opportunities for scholarships. Some of them want 10,000, some of them want 15,000. And then on top of that, we also got them to talk to Justin Trudeau. We brought them to Canada, to Ottawa. We took them to New York, give them opportunities so they can actually flourish. And then we let them also host conferences. We trust them. We give them economical opportunities. Also, employment training is hands-on. We said, what job do you want? You want to work at McDonald's? Let's build a resume that is tailored to McDonald's. And that's how we did that school program. So now, in return, we see more youth graduating. Now, that's our benchmark. Our aggregate is that these are the program, but benchmark is newcomer youth graduating on time with good grades and go into post-secondary education. We use the word higher education because we don't want to neglect the idea of college and also other vocational trainings. So that's what it is in short or in brief. I did that for 7 years, and it was the most rewarding part of my, and still until today, I really admire that.
Wow. Wow. What a resume. I'm just blown away hearing all the amazing things you've done. I'm hearing the importance of creating a third space that is safe for youth to engage so they don't end up in non-productive way of life. I think a lot of people who watch our show are coming from the South Sudanese and diaspora can be anywhere like North America, Europe, or somewhere in East Africa, and you've all heard it. So Ira and I think this conversation is going to help inspire change. Please share it. And make sure it reach a lot of people. So Joe, I really want to say you've done great, amazing things for the community. In all of that, is there any challenge you've encountered? And especially, I want to bring in the other party involved with youth empowerment, which is parents or their caregivers. Is there a way you've engaged them, or if you had an opportunity? Most of the parents are actively involved in their the growth and their the adaptation of the youth in diaspora, especially immigrants. Thank you.
So this line of work is not your day-to-day cakewalk. It is, you need to be informed. Challenges are when we're looking for monies to fund particular project, you need to really know your stuff. The other part is parents. Some parents don't trust. Parents don't trust because they are not engaged from the front, like from the get-go. Kids actually find these things. A lot of South Sudanese kids that came to this program, they found the program through their friend from Ethiopia, from Eritrea, from Sudan, from Syria. They didn't come on their own. They came on their own. They were not brought by the parents. Most of them, and I will say it, and it might really disappoint other people. South Sudanese parents are helicopter parents. They just see the over top, but they're not landing. So there's a disconnect. And so most of the conversation we have with kids, most deep conversation we had with them, it could have been done at home. But because there's no home, it becomes challenging for them. Also, another challenge is that there is systematic issues. A lot of kids are able to take into ESL, English Second Language, or English Additional Language, English EAL. And this is where they go and have the first contact of at-risk activities, because they go and get reduced. They don't get academic challenge. They go and they assume that they don't have any literacy. So now they are pushed all the way back. So and these are newcomers, and so then they're hanging out, they're now vibing, and they do like activities like this to engage them, like let's say potluck, cultural day, which is all brilliant, right? All beautiful and so. But there's no nuance, there's no substance to that, because that system is not taking you to the real challenge. And so over time, you find newcomer youth just are actually dormant. They're not really contributing to anything. And that's another challenge in education system. Assume that these kids don't have the capacity, and therefore they do not have opportunities to compete academically. They put them in cooking. You find a kid having 4 gym classes in a week. You find one kid in 5 different sport teams: racket, ringette, hockey, volleyball, basketball, soccer, football. Coaches are running after them, but at the end of the day, they don't even get a scholarship. Look at your campus draft and look at how tall the South Sudanese kids are. They don't get in. Their third benchmark, I remember a young South Sudanese young woman, not South Sudanese, Ethiopian young woman that wanted to go and run track and field. The fastest I ever saw. they ask her, where is your childhood photo? You come from a war-torn country, you're not going to have childhood photo. So those are some of the few challenges, but you got the gist of it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got it. Aquali can take over, but I think we've all heard it. The system is not friendly. Can sometimes push the youth to risky activities, risky spaces. And what I want to acknowledge is what you said about the parents. Like, home is one of the places sometimes can be so unsafe. These children are actually escaping the situation at home. Bikola B, Agokola youth are dangerous, or because if they're lucky, they find programs when Chakago implementing children. So I want to say it to the parents out there, please listen carefully, listen to your children. The biggest thing I'm seeing in diaspora, I listen to the shows that young people in diaspora are are putting out there, and it's the biggest thing is that gap in communication between the parents and the children. And it's something I haven't found the answer yet, but at least the first step is to try and listen to each other, listen to the youth, help them solve problems. They're new. Their resilience I can't be built yet, so I think having parents who understand that would really help the youth to begin with. Paul, could take it away.
No, this is really very important point there that you put across, Alakir. I know in our community today and where we work, if parents are not empowered to understand this system, how will they even support children? So, children, very poignant point at your baby, because here at law and to my own experience and stories which will take me to the next question. When I came to Vancouver, there was a similar program called Homework Club, and actually it was helping kids like what you just described. Maybe what you just described is a little bit advanced because it doesn't only help kids with homework. It gives them food. It helps them with sports. It also helps them with their academic progress and employment after the academics. So this holistic approach to supporting immigrant youth is really hasn't been thought somewhere else. In Vancouver, there was that project, but I heard that the collapse of that project, we was South Sudanese led. So I'm interested to know that. How other communities help to be successful in this project in Manitoba, because in Vancouver the parents end up actually refusing or withdrawing their own children. Maybe some of these children found this information through their peers, but at some point, no leadership of that organization, community politics. So I just want to take it back to this conversation of how can community, best support young people. And if we say young people, right now we have just focused on newcomer youth, those that come to Canada, okay, young people. But there are those that are also born to these newcomers as well. So there are new generation of youth that don't understand here, and they don't understand the roots. So they're also at risk. And if parents are not empowered, the community is not empowered, and then there is a challenge there. So how can community, build bridges between these young people with the complex system talking in Pan Kawaja?
Yeah, great question, Kual Philip, and great question earlier, Lakir. See, one of the challenging things is that we come and pretend in this system. This system is actually a predatory system. It's your life, it's a whole, it's a wilderness. Where we came from, to Dirantin, Animan community. I think I want the Loy, Kangala Loy taken care of. Let's say, if I make like the community is there, church is there, everybody also the role of it. Teacher is your teachers that are caring members of the community. Abun, I am caring members of the community. Aldermen, elders, mothers, fathers, relatives. Like a mother can leave a child, a little one, le donkey for 20 minutes or like an hour. Probably are fine. But there is inverse. Here is a hands-on society. 76% of your day-to-day is the environment of the child. The rest is you, but that 25%, that 24%, it needs your hand, it needs skill. A lot of newcomers don't know how to swim. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to, how they say, they don't have access to formal sport. They don't know possibly how to, what would be another life skill? Yeah, they don't know to write or read because school is just like carrying the bag, see the topic and go, but there's no other engagement. And so, not to charge the parents, but it is important that parents should know this is a different monster you're dealing with. Even when toward the refugee camp, there was communal aspect. This need a full integration. You better making minimum wage and be with your kid than making $5 million and your kid are destitute. Kids need nourishing and engaged environment. Kids need informed. South Sudanese parents gotta stop distrusting systems. If they didn't work, why did they exist? Why distrust something that you don't have inside of it? So if you say that I'm not a community, well, it isn't better that brown community than actually so we gotta really stop the self-defeating outlook. Also, tablets are not raising kids. You need your kid to be fully engaged, hands-on tools. You need to get to understand. And I will talk later on about another tool to like one of my I call it one of my favorite tool that I really love. I don't know if it's gonna come up later on, but it is, you know what, can I bring it up forward? So I took a document here in Ontario. It was a need assessment document for kids with autism. My friend said, this is a cool document. So I took that document. It is 3 pages, legal size. Now, the way it was designed, one is child focus, like a family setting, child focus, and outcomes. I came and changed all of that. Number one, we get to know, we sit down, it take 2 months to do it. The first point of contact, hey, how is your family? How many are you in the house? How many bedrooms do you live in? What time do you go to bed? What kind of food do you eat? Like those kind of things, right? And then it starts like the conversation about we are taking that data. When do you do your homework? We'll make decision at home. Hey, do you have an allowance, right? We're getting that question. And then we'll go now to, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Your aspiration. Okay, you want to be a doctor. Now, do you have the skill? Do you know what it takes to be a doctor? Now, the teacher's assistant and the teacher will go on the computer and say, okay, this is what you need. To be a doctor, you need English. You got to start at grade 7, this topic and this topic. You need calculus. You need English composition. You need comprehension. Like all of these things. And then you got to go to sciences. And then it goes on, right? And then, okay, how are you going to do that? What is the topic that you like? And then what is the topic that you dislike? The topic you like, we leave it to you. The topic you dislike, we make you an appointment. After 2 hours a week. And if you want to play in the soccer team, you have to really do it. You have to get, and the progress report that the teacher is going to school to go and check on those grades. We meet as a team and we discuss kid during the day before they even come. This kid is struggling this way. And then that's that part 2 of the documents. The part 3 is how long do you need to get there? So what are the mechanisms? What can we do to help you? Okay, we know your strength is, okay, you're a good speaker. So what are we going to do? We're going to put you in youth and philanthropy. Okay, you're a very quiet person. What are you going to do? We're going to put you in the book club. But those are all same program. And we have professionals coming forward. That inspired the, I co-author a mental health document with the University of Manitoba, Engage. And something that we were finding is that a lot of kids are also anxious. Parents are telling them, you need to be a doctor, you need to be an engineer. So the reality is like, oh my God, you don't have the skill for it. You need to really invest. But then family, there's nobody to help you achieve that goal. And then the society is saying, you got to keep floating. And those were the thing. So this book I just do for you, if you don't check any of those 4, you cannot get it. And that's why we have a high dropout rate, and that's why we have a lot of violence, and that's why we get sucked into the underground economies. I don't want to be offensive to families and parents. I don't want to charge them, but raising kids is not easy. There's a whole science behind it. That's why society is now kind of like realizing, what does it take? What resources do I have to raise a child? What kind of job that can afford me these privileges? What kind of vacation card do I have? What is this kid look like?
No, you kind of open up another conversation, which is very really very important, because raising child, especially pan West, got to Europe, got to Americas, got to Australia, it's very expensive. Even got to Kenya right now. I know a lot of people are to East Africa and Uganda, but here specifically, it's really hard. And someone was saying there is a reason why in Kawaja did the mentor or Mitkero. But I Kawaja wouldn't establish it. But walking job and for immigrant, watching him job one on watching him, connection, watching on accent, we cannot even get into good job. But then we come to the mid here and we expect them to be doctors and engineers. And then we wonder when we give up and drop out and say Mitaria. So a very critical conversation in Chol and it's good that the U-turn is now. The youth, if we don't mention those things now, then when? Because success is really human nature. It really depends on contribution from parents, like where environment, primary environment, givers, society, and the systems very very complex and very difficult to navigate. High school, we struggle. What if I meant in Japan who doesn't understand a lot of things? They get to primary school level or meant in this mama there.
That's right.
Then how would that person succeed? So that is very really critical where community come in. But now the challenge, man, and I want you to go deeper to it from your own experience. You get it right, and then in correlate and work. Is that like? How do you see our South Sudanese community bridging, that gap? I know the community, it's a reflection of individuals, something. And our community now is more focused on supporting, problem back home. Because yellow refugee camp, South Sudan economy dollar, we have our loved one there. And then now, what is your thought? How can our community continue to support things that are back home, but also not forgetting the Indians, because there is now a stereotype that Panaira enemy area, and you kind of mention what makes me think here. So can you go back a little bit and dissect from your own experience how would community would have done better during your time to help others? I know your community, close-knit community in Manitoba did well. Many people are young gone and yet help you. But if now we expand, like what good things or sustainable ways community can support young people here more?
So I want to also acknowledge that I check community that are struggling. Community that are struggling.
Okay.
It is something I debated a friend and said, you know what? Could it be genetic? We are such a distrusting group of people, very distrusting. Out of nowhere, you say, you know what? I got a $5 on the street. You don't know, but you just said I got it on the street. Why you worried? I just found it. We are such a distrusting because we have a lot of insecurities towards societies. Parents have insecurities and they visit those insecurities upon their kids. The reflection of our society, because their parents also have those insecurities. So science is behind it. A lot of parents are distrusting because they don't know. They're scared. Now, when we touch on the idea, they're scared of one thing. An example, they're scared of if they say no to people back home. Actually fail. Back in Palway, unnecessary competition. There was rather send money, also quite a lot of pancakes, so people are giving thousands of dollars. So we are living this image. Parents want to look good. Parents are competing with the kids. They want to look good. So they want to keep that image of a good parent, a good person. That's why you see, I go to a community event and then everybody like, take my photo. I'm like, I'm not a photographer. But then people want to take photo to put on Facebook to go enjoy themselves. But they're forgetting you're partying until 2 a.m. And then because the other kid is taking care of the kid. Also, we have not, that's what the bigger issue is. We came here, we are going 30, we're going 20, 30, 40 years. We are still in public houses. We are in apartments renting. We're still in neighborhoods that are better and safe. But the amount of money we send back home, that's a full house mortgage. That's a whole, a bank can really beg you to really buy $1 million house for it. Also, people back home, they are going by fine. They have systems at their door. Why can't we live that way? I was so heartbroken, and I will charge these groups. Association in South Sudan, they put up the event for thousands of dollars. But they were calling us to help the people that voted for them when they get sick, when the babies are born. I am against that. It's time for us, Wakato diaspora, to look after us first. When we do so, we're going to have that future. By the way, the system of giving money, I've been talking 10 years from now. Lost boys are getting tired. Families are getting tired. The next generation, they have no mercy. My money. What do you talk about? Because they are Canadian, they are American, they're Australian, they're Norwegian, they are English, they are the diaspora, they are Kenyans, and that's you are the culture you grow in. So, a lot of parents need to realize, okay, if you really want to help out, give projects to the families. Let families have projects. But the idea of just giving them a day, some of them are wearing better suit than I do, man, and I bust my ass out day in day out, part of my language. You probably guys know that. Paul, I saw you had a baby. Imagine now your child and family are probably competing. We're still taking student loan. I mean, we're not graduating with peace of mind, because the first thing is your door is getting knocked by the student loan and the bank is a dumpster. So I think it's time the parent, if you really want to think about it, they have system, working system. And the own system is going to begin, boy or girl, is us reflecting hey, Akwal, I cannot distrust you. Alakir, I cannot distrust you. Chol, I cannot distrust you for nothing. Let me show you my true colors. Don't speculate. This is why kids are also distrusting. Some kid goes into their parents' way of life, judging community members for no reason. But there's some community members doing wrong stuff. So over time, ladies, it is also a missed priority that we are chasing a wild goose while the eggs are behind you.
Yeah, just to add up, it's always been on my mind thinking of, do you live to make your parents proud, or do you live to give your children a better future? And I think Chol just put that statement in a really good way. I believe our parents were always living to make their parents proud. So the previous generation is always right. Looking, that is changing. And I wish the generation to move out of the country can get on board with that and actually really build better future for their kids. Yeah.
No, thank you, Lakira, and I will give it back to you. But Joel, you are empowering us. I think this conversation is supposed to happen last year. Because really, if someone is listening from today, I think by next year at this time, that person will be changed. And it's really, change begins at home. And you are really saying as things are naked as they are, and that is how we talk at the U-turn. Being honest and open and share the information in a way that is easy to process. I know people one of culture in work and kumko, but to be honest, if na chukereti kachin progress. Chin kuman kuno issues. Our people back home, we adore them, but we cannot, be a laughing stock to them. Until I South Sudan, until I read at least 2 months in Juba, and people there are living life. I was shocked that Koke aga 2 weeks. I cute you get about 2 weeks. And I only make cute when I'm going for a special occasion. I get Juba and I'm you are because I need it for me. but it is they have life. So I don't say everyone on life. It is not who really need help, and we need to give them projects, because hands out fail. It has been many years. People are retiring now, and it will be a miserable retiring on corporate because even I will retire pan Western we can serve it, really miserable, and our people need to learn from each other. And I'm really inspired. And if you are listening to this conversation and you find it inspiring, please share it. You'll mention great things. A lot community like community or environment most of us are really in poor neighborhood, and we expect our kids to be doing well. That cannot happen, right? We need to elevate ourselves to spaces where when we really thrive, and that start with being conscious and planning ahead. I know society can keep you really in the dark, but even
Mm.
also with your limiting mindset, you can stay in the dark forever. So, Joel, maybe next question, based on the work that you have been doing, empowering, and the success that you just shared, what resource mobilization that you think is forward thinking that our community should start paying attention,
Mm.
that people should need to make U-turn at the moment?
I think forward thinking is first, but I think the idea of community association coming together, like let's say this group Canada, that we cannot create federal system without institutions. Cities need to take back their communities. The power is with the cities, not with the province or like with the overall Canada leaderships. Those one are ceremonial. Those are people having good time with titles and they're gonna wear the malayat. But the real power is within the city because there's three things that show resource mobilization. Parents need to start getting to the local get engaged in the local affairs, especially let's say teachers parent meetings. They gotta volunteer at the elections, so then the issues that are affecting them are heard. They gotta also talk among themselves. They gotta go to the games. Everybody have something. Reach out on Facebook. Like other day, I put on Facebook, hey, I have this youth that I train. I'm looking for a job. You know how many people hit my inbox? Let's use the tool to manage Facebook for good message. Hey, and call war be me thing benching. Not like, oh my God, no, just use the tool for the needs of it. So I think part of the resource mobilization is to also be engaged, get in it. Because now you're gonna do once you have this now when you engage in your local community, you start influencing decisions. You start affecting change. You know what? In policies. Now teachers are seeing you are serious on your kid academics, so they give you the real feedback. You need to call your school and check in. What is going on? So go to the game, meet with other parents. If you want to do it as South Sudanese or as subgroup, sit down and have a realization. Hey, what is it that we want to do? What are the things? Let's be honest, tough conversation. We listen to our bosses. I know some grown up, may quite long, very young age, make a quiet color, yes, sir, yes, sir. Why can you not do it for your community? There's a need for communities, for the cities, for the people in those cities to take back their communities. Federal system, I'm discouraging it. It takes resources, it's traveling, it's time consuming, a lot of telephone call. But in your city, in your neighborhood, you can do so many things. There's also local Facebook groups you can join that can help you. They can tell you about what's going on in the neighborhood. What are there's long-term events that are almost 100 years that could actually entrench your kid to become part of the community. So it is really, really imperative that parents look at their catchment, the neighborhood they're in, and see what are the resources out there. And then maybe we could maybe we could in Africa job. Also sit down with your budget. Look at it. Which one is more important to you? Man do having loan and living in public housing in 20 years, or you retiring when your back hurts and then your family doesn't have any support for you. I think there gotta be a way. There gotta be really, as you guys put it, there have to be not a U-turn, but another U-turn.
No, absolutely, I agree. Um, the what's the name? The I think the U-turn is happening. This is one of the evidence.
Yes.
Yeah, important today, and I'm a big believer of doing something. Whether you think it's going to change something or not, please do something. And what we've been talking about a
Mhm.
lot
Mhm.
with people, the Okabe U-turn conversation
Mhm.
is to speak directly to Koi diet, and we have diverse audience. It could be youth, could be a parent. I'm in an awkward place. Aren't you a parent? Aren't you a youth, like in gym terms, a bit older? So
Ikut gua asli dia ayuda lagi dia udah.
I always
Now, see the youth.
it's a very unfamiliar space to be. Yin can ni dumi da goramba ring dune win can we intimate. So I really believe that the youth at Jacopalway, the community and this facing backward Kwaja Bula back home, Kwaja Bukinlo back home is not helping. It's not been helping for a while now. Otherwise it's Kwaja repatriate and go back home, right? So I love to put emphasis on the parents to take action. I know it's easy to get caught up in the day to day of paying bills. Like ini, we live a different life from what you lived. You gotta put in the work, and that's what Chul is saying today. Put in the work that is meeting your children, teachers. That is going to your local riding and finding out what are the issues that are being addressed by the city. So what U-turn message the Bala that includes us on this on this call?
Um, so I'm in Ottawa. I've been here now for 4 days, and I'm for a conference. It's Proof Change. It's actually looking at the gender. So I openly said earlier, I'm a feminist. I say I'm an ally. I'm a husband. I love my dear wife. I couldn't get my jur. My little cousin, I can say her name, the young, inspire me. And so Senator Pauline Senior, she's from Jamaica. She's Jamaican Canadian from Toronto riding, but now she's a senator at the House of Senate of Canada. This is what she said, and this is a U-turn message, right? She said this, right? What it means versus what it says. We are talking here, not what it says, but what does it mean? So a U-turn message is what does it mean to you individually? Maybe Chukwi Kai Chuk, now we're gonna be a victim of your, but don't do that. Think about what message that you did get out of this. There will be there's we invest our time, at least that's a gift to you. So a U-turn message is realizing what does it mean to be in Canada? What life are you living? Do you even catch a break to take a vacation? Do you sleep 8 hours? Can you sleep in? Can you buy your favorite meal? Can your kid go to the favorite space? Can you really know what your child did today, really in good real time? Can you sit down as a community, as a family, and have a nice dinner? Make the food, make a mess on the table. Can you do those things? That's a U-turn. It's time to sit on the big table now. Leave that $500 job or $5 million job and take that $13 job so you can be at home with your kid 9 to 5. Have you been to the mall? I was at the mall today. I was at the Rideau Center. Can you say it properly?
Yes, it's really
Road.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, Rideau. Yeah. And most of the kids that were loitering were black kids. They had no purpose. There were other people, kids, other ethnic groups. There's mainstream, but they had focus. They either go to the store to go and get something, because maybe their parents give them money. But I found some of them they are of African descent. Some of them are leaning on the wall. Some of them have been followed by security. This is the capital of Canada, but some of them being followed by security. I thought it was a Winnipeg thing. Subway got a security because people are sneaking in. I'm like, well, why are we like this, right? So a U-turn message is let's mean what we hear. Let's mean it. Let's not just say it for the sake of saying it. Let's do it. Get actionable item into our table. Change our family dynamic. Imagine you getting hurt right now. You have no money and you have no control of your kids' your family. Now you're gonna be at home destitute. The idea also going back home. Uh, that's a lot. That's for another day.
No, thank you. Thank you. Alakira, I know you tell me I can walk a good, but I one on 10 minutes you'll in chapter because
Okay.
I do pick up what I hear. Yeah, the idea of going back home, it's getting young work. Why take up a job, and if not bad job, you cannot invest yourself. You cannot invest your time to know you are your MP, right? And most of people don't know you are the MPs. Most of people don't know that there's neighboring community or centers where there are free swimming lesson for your children. There is free PlayStation for kids. There are spaces that you can actually channel your children to go and meet with friends there that can keep them company when you are busy at work. And it breaks my heart Bella thing that a Rido Center I went there and I was heartbroken. And I am still thinking of U10 project now with our team on how to bring those young people to spaces where they can play and be, have purpose. So maybe I can ask you, what will you complain me about walking voices can be that kind of appeal. How can we get me to be sitting at the table like here and sharing their plight, because maybe they feel they are not heard by their parents, they feel they are not heard by their community, and now when you feel rejected, you become a reject. And when
Yeah.
you can be taken for free, even police wherever you go. So how do you tend for this message to us? How can we, who are people that are advocating for change for a youth in our community, rally some of the in-person programming to support these young people to be heard and be supported well?
I will say it again. I'm going to Chol contrarians because of my views in certain things. I say that we, especially most of us, or many of us, we are selfish society. We certainly we are selfish. We came here as refugees. We got people volunteer for us, but when we get settled in, we don't volunteer. We don't give back. I know some Wus people that don't volunteer.
Thank you.
I know Wus that were brought, and then because I know you have to go shopping, someone have to take you to buy your jacket, show you how to use the stove, and then walk you around the campus. And then now, when you graduate with your degree, you decide to go and work and send your money home, and then you on the other thing, but you don't give us the system. I think that if we start giving back to the communities, we're gonna get more back. We're gonna get the kid back to the dining tables, because you can teach that value to a child. These kids are very prideful and loyal. Some of the kids can knock out their parents, but they respect them. They just let them go. So these kids, they really are caring, loving. I've got to know many of them, not only South Sudanese, a lot of kids. And that brings me a lot of joy, like to see that there's nothing exciting like, I'm graduating tomorrow, can you come? We shut down the whole program and go to graduation. I remember we used to go to the game just to go and watch and give the support. Parents are not there. A lot of kids are being picked up by coaches, or they have to take buses, or their family friends, and then there's no cheering. And so when you have this bunch of, I remember in our team, we have our first soccer team in a suburb, one of the richest area in Winnipeg, and it was me, and now my current wife. Well, when I was dating her, so that's the only place I can escape. So it was two of us cheering in one bleacher, half of the whole building, just two of us. While the other thing, grandmother is there, little brother, little sister are there, mother, father is there, cousin. It's a game. They influence the game. Referee, you touch a child, beep, against us. You touch the child, oh my God, how old is that kid? You know, the Rachel House. Yeah. So it's time to really look at how can we really change things. We keep complaining. We have tools. If you in Winnipeg, there are 14 after-school programs that are well-oiled. 4 of them that I know daily, they are sustained. They have a lot of resources. Take your kid there. Volunteer yourself. If you don't trust that system, spend time there in the corner. At least your child is doing something. Change the dynamic of the house. Don't make your kitchen as a place of there's this school program in Nordic region, in like Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. They have the kitchen is a homework space. Yeah. So I think we should start doing those, whereby we actually look at what can we do now as a family, as a community. What can you do? Invest your time, but also don't spoil the kid. Teach them values of things. If you earn that $10, don't come and just hand to the kid. Teach what that value means. Let's really do get it. Those after-school programs, they can help your kid. If you don't trust them, go and volunteer in them. If not, create an after-school program at your house. There should be a reading time. There should be time you sit with your kid together. If you're too far away, go on FaceTime with them. FaceTime is real like we are right now.
Yeah.
There have to be an effort up front. If we just wait and keep the well, why are you saying that though? By the way, on the record, when I came to Canada, I was ruled to be a Jirim. People that are related to me branded me. People like, you know, Jam on Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
I could say that I'm kind of Jam. Because I have nobody believed in me, nobody trusted me. Wow. It's a little sad, but also I was young, so I didn't care. But because people just assume that, but then there's a God of people that saw me, those mentors that did not look at me. Remember, I did not come in with mom and dad.
Yeah.
I come in with relative. So I'm not any different from you guys, but I just got these people that help me out a lot. So I'm grateful for the work that you guys are doing, but I think keep pushing the message. Parents gotta realize they have to stop. If it doesn't stop, we are going. What you do? Imagine maybe about to run, you know, you reduce your skin color, to your heritage, to your story. Oh my God, you're a refugee. Oh my God, they expect sad stories from us. Our workplace, they do something. Oh, he did that. Oh my God, it's because we are not changing the narrative. We are not at the bigger tables. We don't know how to volunteer. We don't know how to be at the board. We don't know how to engage with the communities. We are just running back home. If you see somebody right now to meet up at coffee, oh yeah, what are you talking about? He's not paying your bills. Your kid is not going to Sapa Kid house. It's in your house. Also, the idea, younger kid taking care of the little kids, so by the time they turn 18, they're sick, they're tired. Because they become mothers. Boys are the only sport going to get them. NBA is not an easy game. It's only 0.8 percentile that makes it. NBA is not an easy thing. It's not about height. It is about connection and investment from even like in the political level. You should be able to tell the coach that. So I know the time is up here, folks, but I really am grateful to be here. Thank you for trusting me to be part of the U-turn. I hope I did not offend anybody, and I hope I did not reduce anybody. I'm just a passionate person that do feels hurt sometimes when I see my community is really declining in participatory tables.
Thank you. And that is the message of the U-turn to those people that are listening to this conversation, that will share it to the larger audience. Please, the U-turn message there is that our community, we should volunteer, get involved in board membership. There are community foundation every cities that we should volunteer. There are programs for young people, for youth, that we can volunteer. So let's be generous and resourceful in the communities that we are in, and the communities that we are in will serve us. That is the message of U-turn. Let's not brand our young people as bad. Let's support them to be good. Let's be there for them. Let's join our hand. Let's promote positivity. The goal for the U-turn is for us to be respected, and we can only be respected when we are successful. And to be successful, we need to be present and to give our time, our energy, and our resources to build a better future for our young children, for newcomer youth. Thank you so much, Chol Deng Kuir Powel. Thank you, Alakir, for helping facilitating this conversation. This is just the beginning. We at the U-Turn will come back to you, Chol, for follow-up discussion. This was just the tip of iceberg. There are so many layers that we need to go deeper from the thing that you mentioned. Thank you for your time.